predicting that Elsiop will go with a, I believe it was the P.E.K.K.A. Goblin Giant Rage deck, a really easy-to-use deck here in game number 1. I'd be surprised to see him be that predictable.
And looks like he's not going to. There was a lot of people I talked to that thought it might actually even just be P.E.K.K.A. the back first play. But that's not what we're seeing here, with, especially with the Evo Ice Spirit.
Shades of Hog so far from Mohamed Light. And Royal Giant, something that Elsiop did run a lot during his qualifying stages in the CRCC to make this World Championship. Did not typically run it with the Ice Wiz, ran a different construction, but curious to see what he has in store for us here.
Monk ability going to drop down to deflect that Archer Queen ability. The Fisherman as well trying to lock onto a cannon. Roll Delivery dropping down. Interesting matchup so far. It's the standard Pigs Earthquake versus a Royal Giant Monk. That Monk is going to be very useful versus the Queen the entire match.
First minute away, and so far just a little bit of chip in both directions. You can see, look at the expressions on their faces, right? You see some deep breaths here. Even for two of the most experienced former world champions, you cannot replicate what it feels like when it's finally happening.
Pigs at the bridge. Does he have the fireball? He does. Wow, this is a great situation for Elsiop. A lot of the time you might see a lightning or maybe even an earthquake with Royal Giant, but that fireball is going to make it so Mohamed Light actually has to split his pigs and split his damage across the towers. Something
he's very good at traditionally, very good at early on, getting dual lane pressure and damage. We'll see if he gets that done here today. The Evo RG drops in the back as we go towards our double elixir time.
I talked to Mohamed Light and Riley and others, and they said Elsiop is a great player, but maybe his deck picking isn't up to par. But after seeing this, maybe he was, I don't know. I don't think that's true, because this is a great matchup for Elsiop.
And Pigs in, Elsiop back to 4, Fireball able to clear the log for the Evo Skeletons, and the RG doesn't get the damage Elsiop wants, gets a little bit in, but a fairly solid job by Mo to mitigate that damage despite the great play of Elsiop.
Royal Giant in the back yet again, and we know there's going to be another Monk in front of that to stop the Archer Queen. And it's really only going to get worse. Later in the match, we're going to see 2 Royal Giants on the board on each side, which is very difficult to deal with, especially when you don't have a solid tank in your deck.
EQ in early, and Mohamed Light maybe trying to figure out what's going to be the mathematics to get his damage in, and now we go aggressive. RG at the bridge, left-hand lane, switching sides. This one, though, getting handled by the cannon of the Archer Queen. Guard does get a couple of stabs.
Monk, same lane as the Queen yet again, and here comes the split bigs I was talking about. You have to choose which side to Fireball. Fireball on the right, Guards on the left. Will Mohamed Light get a second Archer Queen ability? Yes, he has it available, but he's not going to use it. Elsiop with the Monk ability to prevent.
Lead now for Mohamed in sudden death overtime, 24-62, top right-hand side of your screen, 23-88 on the bottom. Evo Ice Spirit plus Cannon to hold against the Royal Giant.
Bigs right away. I really like this pressure while defending, forcing the Fireball on defense, using the log as well. Elsiop knows that this game is very close, and wow, and the Ice Spirit doesn't jump.
Was that an overspend by Elsiop with the Fireball and the log there? I know he wanted to mitigate all the damage, but you know, instead of a positive trade, now he had a negative one.
Yeah, and the Queen's still alive. He has to log, and here comes the Pigs. And watch out for those Evo Skeletons. He has to Fireball, but look at the damage to the right-hand side.
And you saw he had to wait to make sure that the Evo Skeletons and the 2 Pigs were together. Pressure from Mohamed Light now giving him the lead with 1:08 left. Keep in mind that while Elsiop does have Fireball and Log, there's almost no way they're going into a spell cycle situation with his defensive needs.
And here comes the Pigs right away with the pre-log plus pre-quake on the guards, allowing for so much damage to come through with these piggies. Elsiop needs to bounce back with a double Royal Giant push if he's going to make this comeback.
Does he double up on that left-hand side, or does he go left-right here? We see the guards and the fishermen on the right-hand side. Evo Skellies, Ice Wiz plus log to clear. Evo RG still fairly healthy. Second Royal Giant right behind it. He needs to break through here. Can he do it?
The Monk is deflecting the Queen and the Cannon. The Royal Giant is walking through. Log dropping down. Ice Spirit does get taken out. Evo Ice Spirit jumps. No, Evo Ice Spirit jumps, and that Royal Giant is locked down.
That cannon, the cycle of Mohamed Light. Picture perfect. Can he hold on? 11 more seconds. This is looking good for Mohamed Light. Cannon to hold. 6 seconds left. Fireball trying to clear. Royal Giant stuck by the cannon, and Mohamed Light wins game number 1.
And that is the defense that we know Mohamed Light for. The Archer Queen, the Cannon Cycle, the perfect Ice Spirit placement. I mean, everything was perfect to a T there. Mohamed Light showing why he is the best player in the world.
And here for their number 2 matchup. The loser here will face the loser of our next match between Lucas and Greco, and Drill for Elsiop.
And a P.E.K.K.A. from Mo. This is the deck that Mo was expecting Elsiop to play. Elsiop really going completely different. And speaking of completely different, we see the Cannoneer Tower. Now that is really not a tower that I expected to see very often during this tournament, just because it recently got nerfed. But it seems to be doing very well versus this P.E.K.K.A.
And it's Drill Wall Breakers, the 2 Evos he's choosing as well. Doesn't get the connection courtesy of the Rage. A little funny here to see Mo and Jules talking about this deck all week. This is the deck they expect him to go game number 1, and then see them bring it out alongside our newest champion.
Here comes yet another Drill. Next Drill will be Evo. I love the placement, pulling everything backwards, allowing the Ghost to splash and connect on tower. Good Fisherman to prevent that second hit, though.
First blood, first significant blood drawn by Mohamed Light, but lead back now. Whoa, Royal Giant in here. This is a whole lot of fun.
The Royal Giant Gobsine ability is unnecessary. The Dark Goblin gets aired out. This Royal Giant extremely healthy on top of this tower. This tower is taking a beating.
The stun certainly mitigating some of that, but down to 1602. And now we'll see, can he make some headway in the opposite direction? 1 wall breaker pulled, 1 does connect. Bandit dashes in, guards to hold. But this is a lot of damage going the opposite way.
Wow. I mean, both players very light in the defense, very aggressive on the offense. And here comes the offense yet again, the Evo Goblin Drill. What does Mo have to deal with this? The Rage is not what you're looking for.
Snowball in to slow the tower and get a little bit extra damage on there. Now Evo Wall Breakers with the action on the back. Wow. And no ability here, down to 220. Full connection, and Mohamed Light's in trouble in game 2.
And this is a deck Elsiop is known for, whether it be Cannon Card Bridge Spam with the Ram Rider or a Goblin Drill Bridge Spam. He knows how to keep that elixir and apply that pressure. The only question is, can Mo break through with this Evo P.E.K.K.A.?
So far, so good holding. Bandit dashes at a great time, takes both the P.E.K.K.A. and helps cover against the Doctor. Here we go. Drill in. 195 remaining. Snowball down. 25 HP. 21. Gets the stab. Elsiop has the tower down. Can he defend for 19 seconds?
Here comes the Goblinstein and the Fisherman and the guards. The cannon does not pull. Evil Royal Giant is in cycle. Here comes the Goblinstein ability. Royal Giant is distracted though by the cannon and the Goblin Drill. I think he's got this defense.
Oh my word. This is what you want. Champion versus champion. Game number 3, here we come.
Oh my gosh, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I was talking about in the intro. This is art. I love watching this. This is perfect Clash Royale gameplay.
And soft murmur as everyone's sitting doing what we're doing, trying to figure out what are they going to do next.
Yeah, let's find out right now as both players are reaching 10 elixir. We say a cage right away from Mo, Goblin Gang from Elsiop, maybe the Mortar deck from Elsiop. And Mo, I know he likes to play Evo Cage even with Cycle decks, so it's not guaranteed to be down here.
Elsiop did play some bait, of course, now that we see the Lightning Dragon. Probably not the Electro Dragon, but for a moment, maybe. And Loon.
Wow. So he is going to the skies. And Mo, you are correct. We do see bait. Cage on the board here. The Cage is not really the building you want to have versus this balloon. You'd much rather have a Tesla.
Shouldn't get a drop, but will get death damage as the Brawler goes and gives its punch the opposite direction. Mohamed Light with damage in both lanes. Elsiop chipping that right-hand tower.
And this, once again, is just so fascinating. Elsiop, just great deck picks. He has the Bar Barrel for the Goblin Barrel. He has the arrows for the Princess. He even has the Lava Hound to tank for that balloon. What kind of air defense does Mo have for this last card? I mean, if he has a rocket, that could help, but this is looking very grim for our 2022 champion.
Little Prince and Princess both getting ready to go to work, although the Princess walking away from the Lava Hound. Cage pulls to the middle, and she does retarget towards the Evo Electro Dragon. Barb Barrel picked up by the Fire Spirit plus the Knight. Great protection by Mohamed Light.
Lava Pups are trying to take out this Little Prince. They are successful, but the Princess will help out, and here comes the Goblin Barrel on the counter push. The Knight is tanking. LCOP not really playing much. These Goblins are doing so much damage.
Well, maybe some cycle issues there for LCOP. You've seen him shaking his head a lot in this matchup, and I think that maybe he got his cycle to a position where he was not happy with his ability to defend.
Yeah, he was low in elixir as well, but at least he's up about 1 elixir here. He's able to get that lava. Moonlight deciding to use the Princess aggressively to apply pressure opposite lane this time.
And you see him going with the gang to clear the Princess rather than a spell, making sure he's not going to get caught flat-footed by the incoming imminent Evo Barrel.
No Evo Electro Dragon cycle. That makes defense a lot easier. And here comes the Evo Barrel, like you said. Arrows dropping the wrong one. Real Goblins to the right doing massive damage, but now he has to defend.
Lava Hound in, Balloon in, pups all around. Mohamed Light's defense is absolutely picture perfect.
Electro Dragon's a couple shots, but he needs a lot more oomph in his push than that, and yet another Goblin Barrel.
Goes to the inside, easily read by LCOP. And this has just been so well controlled. You were worried about the air defense, but Little Prince, Princess, Goblin Gang, and the MVP so far has been the Snowball.
Arrows dropping down the gang. Here comes the pre-snowball from Mohamed Light, forcing out the Barbarian Barrel, but now he can out-cycle with his Princess, bait out those arrows, and get another Goblin Barrel down right away.
What does LCOP have in store to try to battle back into this one? The margins are so thin. Has to cover the left-hand side. Right-hand side is a problem. The Knight touches, down to 59 HP. Princess on the left-hand side, nothing on the right-hand side. GG, well played. Mohamed Light wins the first match of World Finals.
And
it did seem like at the end of the day the conversation was in favor of LCOP, but we know that that doesn't matter. You want 80-20s versus Mohamed Light. And Lucas on the other side of it, you saw how well he pulled things together in that Game 3 against Greco with that Golden Knight freeze NATO at the very end. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. And here we go. Momo comes out. Looks like they could both be running lava.
Yeah, I mean, we see Mohamed Light shake his head, or nod his head, and then stare directly into Lucas's eyes. It could be the case, both players. Skeleton Dragons, Gob Cage from Lucas, Gob Cage, and Lava from Mo. I can guarantee you Mo is running Lava.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a good call, AC, as it is on the board. And one thing I'm thinking about here is that the analysts maybe not looking for a mirror matchup in game number 1. I don't know if you're really ever looking for that type of thing, so we'll have to see how things play out here. 29-44, 27-15, first little bout in the books.
Yeah, Arrow's always a very important card in Lava mirror matches, so we're going to have to see what the final cards for Mohamed Light are. Lightning, Arrows, the spells for Lucas. Still unsure what Mohamed Light is running on his end.
And a bit of a pause here as Mo sets up the Evo cage. Lucas goes, all right, time for me to drop my first Lava Hound. I don't think we'll see 4 Lava Hounds on the board, and there you go, Lucas just going, wow, of all things that I had to run into, Lightning is out, Inferno Dragon is in, and this is going to be difficult to deal with as this game goes on.
Yeah, Mohamed Light clearly well-versed in this matchup. You want to play the Inferno Dragon as often as you can, going against the opposing Lava Hounds, and then just put your own Lava Hound in front. You're always going to be able to defend, and you're always going to get at least a little baby counter push, and we see it right here, but Lucas going to clean up everything nicely and still have a few things on the board.
Well, AC, we've got 2 kind of X-Factor cards. The Inferno, as you were just talking about in this matchup, and then the other one is the card on the board right now in the Flying Machine. Not a great way to get on top of that Flying Machine and support the Lava Hound in the way that you would like.
Yeah, I mean, you have to assume with double elixir, if you're going same lane, Lucas is always going to be able to win because you have the Flying Machine, the Lightning to snipe the opposing Inferno Dragon. I love how Mohamed Light is approaching this matchup, going opposite lane and then placing his own Inferno Dragon. Let's see if Lucas is going to be able to protect it not going to be the case, and that Inferno Dragon from Mohamed Light going to get a ton of value right here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you're talking about there, AC. Baited out in the opposite lane. Now the push dies on the Vine. 1960, 24-04. Bomber now set up on the right-hand side. Now going in the same lane are Lucas and Mohamed Light. We'll see if Lucas ends up letting this go. Lightning comes in. Mo thinks that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Ish, I would
Yeah,
say by the
exactly.
look on his face. Bomber here looking for some damage. Josh getting a nice shot in.
Yeah, right there. Predictive Inferno Dragon. He places it a full second early in the exact wrong timing for Lucas. Still places the Lava Hound down on the board. Arrow's going to clean up everything very nicely. And, I mean, for the rest of this game, for the entire game, basically, it's just bridge lava after bridge lava, just opposite lanes from both of these players.
1862, 1960, just neck and neck here. Mohamed Light in a slight lead as he sets up Skeleton Dragons on the left-hand side.
Yeah, so it looks like the only difference between these two decks is Inferno Dragon and Flying Machine. And I mean, just looking at it on paper, you always are going to assume the Inferno Dragon is just going to be considerably way better in this matchup.
And you can see here now Luca's going to have to spend a lot defensively here. Also some guards at the bridge just a moment ago. Pressure guards that baited out Lucas's Evo Bomber, so not going to get any Evo Bomber damage from his opponent's Bomber or Cage or guards.
Yeah, right here, Lucas probably going to Defensive Lightning, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Flying Machine taken out by Mohamed Light's Inferno Dragon, but Arrows on defense going to clean up everything nicely. Mo Light now taking the lead by 250 HP.
And using the lava to kite, Mo with a little bit of a smile there. That lava just a hair closer than I think it needed to be, though. It takes a lot more HP off. I think it was one more tile to the left, it still would have kited and maybe not taken as much damage.
Yeah, I really think that's going to be the case, too, and that is a great lightning from Lucas. Going to take out the Inferno Dragon entirely. Lightning coming down on offense for Mohamed
But no
Light.
arrows for defense there, AC.
And is that Bomber going to squeeze out a shot? Not yet. But still, with only 30 seconds left, Lucas needs to start playing things at the bridge. Going to go lava at the bridge, but on the right lane.
Yeah, Desperation Lava there. Flying Machines ends up protecting it, but Inferno's still on the board. Lightning to clean everything up, guards to pull it away. But the thing is, that lava's not going to be able to get enough damage in 13 seconds. Lucas knows it's over. Mo wins the mirror match with the Inferno.
8 seconds left. Lucas just going to activate the King Tower. Mo Light going up 1-0. And I can guarantee you that Mo, 5 seconds into the match, knew he won this game. If we could get a replay just on his face, there was a tiny little wry smile from him, and he looked directly into Lucas's eyes saying, hey, I'm winning this one.
Looks like he might have gotten that.
You know, I'd like to apologize. I think 70-30 was perfect. I don't need to change anything.
We'll talk about it off broadcast.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a really uncomfortable conversation for us.
Mom.
Probably an uncomfortable conversation between these two guys after this match is over, regardless who ends up taking the next two games. As we see Momo go in with a minor. Lucas trying to catch with a high knight, ends up getting something out of it. So it looks like he might be going to exactly what we just called Magic Archer NATO.
Yeah, and right there, Lucas, the reason why the Spirit Goblins look so odd is because he was just cycling to that NATO. He was one card away. He had to place it high enough where the Spirit Goblins weren't going to try and take out the Miner, instead allowing the King Tower to be activated. So it looked weird, but there was a very specific reason as to why he did it.
AC, being a former pro, when you look at this matchup, when you talk about probably not having a big spell for Lucas and this Monk is a very interesting wrinkle in this equation because of your Spears and your Magic Archer. Does this matchup can Lucas play through this? Is the Monk going to be that much of an X factor, not being able to get on top of the Phoenix as well because you don't have any sort of large spell, you don't have a way to target it other than Magic Archer? How are you feeling about this?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's very close. I mean, really, if you play it perfectly, the reason why all these pros love these minor Knight, Magic Archer decks is because you can win against anything. It doesn't matter what the matchup is. If you get them in the wrong cycle, if you cycle correctly, the Ice Spirit gets enough value, you can always win a matchup. But I mean, going against Mohamed Light with the Monk, you know he's always going to be one step ahead. You try and NATO the Monk where it goes back to your same side of the arena, so that way you can't have the Crown Tower aggro get on top of it. You know he's just already thinking that.
The NATO back! The NATO back. Knight comes down, gets on top of tower. Monk distracted by the bomb tower. 21-49, 25-65. Goes for the catch of the bridge. Lucas knows he got. Look, Momo may not like the damage he just took, but he doesn't forget that he's still a world champion.
Man, the love between these two players, it's so exciting to see firsthand. I mean, Lucas just smiling immediately. It is with these top pro players, you know, you're gonna try and predict like 6 different times, and even if you only get one, you know you won that.
Yeah, exactly, and I love to see it here. Magic Archer at the bridge, pulls back the Phoenix. Mo ready though with the Ice Spirit Skellies. I mean, this is absolutely brilliant gameplay from Mo. Problem is, AC, he's focusing so much at the bridge that Lucas is getting a ton of damage down low. So while it might look like brilliant defensive gameplay from Mo, Lucas is doing a really good job baiting things out.
Yeah, so far this Monk has not really been that much of a problem. Lucas, a tenth of a second too late. And that Magic Archer gets taken out, as well as the Spear Gobs. Muhammad Light going to town on this tower.
Wow, and Lucas making a few misplays here, having to use cards that he does not want to defend. Ends up getting the Phoenix on tower, has to use the bomb tower defensively up high, can't get on top of the miner. 18-49, 17-39. Lucas still in the lead here in game number 2 with just under 2 minutes remaining.
Knight to protect. You can never allow the Evo E-Spirit or Ice Spirit to get on top of your tower. It's just going to be too much damage. And that's a Monk and a Phoenix on the left lane. That is just one of the scariest pushes you can have, even though it's supposed to be simple to defend.
Just NATO's back that Monk, making sure it doesn't cross the bridge, then gets the Knight up high. No Monk ability in. 1702, 1592. Another miner in here from Muhammad Light, going close to the King Tower. Spear Goblin not on top of the egg. Lucas has to spend more. We got 2 Phoenixes on the left-hand side of the board.
And then the Evo Skeletons on the right is going to put in a little bit of work, and that egg, is that going to be another hatch?
Wow.
Not the case. But Muhammad Light screams into the lead, up by 260 HP. Lucas going to need to start getting some offensive pushes, finally bringing it back just a little bit, but this is difficult for him to get damage.
You guys can see the bomb tower placements from Muhammad Light are fascinating. AC, he gets the lineup with the Phoenix though. 2 shots, 3 shots. Mo does not like that. 967. Lucas now screaming back into the lead.
Going in on offense with the miner, Muhammad Light always catching it with the Skellies, the bomb tower helping out as well.
He's not going to NATO here. No, he does. Momo now, Monk's still alive.
Cycling the Skellies early. Knight at the bridge on the right side. And I mean, Muhammad Light finally gonna take the lead once again, but there's so much going on.
NATO comes down, miner on top of the tower on both sides. 851, 795, 802, 746, 744. Lucas back in the lead. Mo takes it back at 697. Pressure in. 13 seconds remain.
NATO offensively plus the log. Can he catch the miner? He does. Can he block this miner from getting 2 shots? No. The miner gets shots on the tower.
Mo gets it. Mo gets it. 406. 481! The Pharaoh stays on top! Oh my good Lord! That is a world championship match right there.
You have to worry about every single inch of the arena for the last minute of the game. How can you possibly worry about this miner, that miner, this miner, that miner? You're only going for 2 crowns. I don't know why there's so many miners.
I don't know how he will be able to compose himself right now, but we're going to hear from him right now. Rich, what on earth did we just see?
Well, had he gone 1 tile to the right, he would have defended it cleanly and he would have had an easy win.
Right.
He cannot make that mistake.
The crowd into it here, just going into game 1. I imagine if we get into game 3, it will be silent in this room. Ice Spirit to start for Riley, and Mo with the Princess at the bridge.
Princess stopping the Ice Spirit in its tracks, getting a little bit of chip damage on top of the tower, plus the log. And Riley could be going back to the Miner Marcher. Yeah, that deck has been really solid this weekend.
And looking like it, seeing the Evo Knight come out here. Evo Knight plus Evo Ice Spirit. Ice Spirit, one of the strongest defensive Evos in the game as that Magic Archer comes down in the back. And what's really fascinating about this matchup is there is no big spell for Muhammad Light. So how do you take care of the Magic Archers that Riley's going to place? And if a Magic Archer does ever get a connection at the bridge, how do you stop it?
And Mo Light, the way he just kind of carries himself, Riley, we heard it in the interview where, oh, how'd you know you were going to win? Well, when he played the first Goblin Barrel. With Mo, he played the Goblin Barrel, no smile, no look up, no nothing. Riley just locked in and focused.
And Riley does have the Tesla. You can see there, Mo not happy about something. Not exactly sure if it was the placement or what, but doesn't get a lot out of it. Goblinstein does get on tower, not going to go for the ability. 21-62 to 2 very healthy towers for Muhammad Light.
Yeah, it really felt like Riley got a value log, was able to get the Goblin Barrel plus a little bit of damage on top of the Doctor and the Dark Goblin, and still his tower just lost 850 HP. Everything that could go right went right, and he still got tons of damage.
Oh! And the NATO doesn't kill all the skellies. And both of them surprised by this interaction because it should have done it. Now log has to be used on the right-hand side. Goblins to the real goblins to the left, and a great connection from Mohamed Light.
Dark Goblin getting chip damage on chip damage, getting the tower down to 2048, and that is a tough interaction to happen to you. You see it once a month, and people are complaining on Twitter. There's no time to complain. You just have to focus up and recenter yourself.
Exactly. You see Riley kind of shaking his head there. He's played through adversity so far in this tournament. Again, I've said this on stage, off stage, probably too much. Memory of a goldfish, and Riley needs to move on past this and just recognize a little mistake early on against Bait doesn't mean the game's over.
And right there, defending cleanly with the Ice Spear, but Mohamed Light 2 steps ahead, getting the Princess chip damage, and Riley going to respond with his Magic Archer of his own, finally getting just a little bit of damage on that left side.
Yeah, what a brilliant play by Mohamed Light. He goes barrel to the side knowing troops are going to come out, then goes Princess to the bridge knowing those troops are going to get on top, or going to get, the Princess is going to get on top of those troops for just a little bit more chip damage, and that's what we talk about him just thinking 85 steps in the future.
Yeah, and these Princesses are scary. Ice Spear able to make the full-on jump. NATO is going to stop him for a second, but still going to get 2 stabs on top of the tower.
1922, 1821. Mo's lowest tower is 2686. This game is about as clean as it can get for the Pharaoh.
And right there, Magic Archer not doing its job. Princess on the left, fully staying alive. Log should be able to stop nothing because the Princess stops walking.
Mo looking for something with that. Log doesn't hit it, but the tower, 1763. Another Princess comes down. Magic Archer to snipe. Nice placement there from Riley.
And it's clear that Riley has a lot of practice in this because bridge Teslas are exactly how you want to win this. And Mo, again, stopping. Hey, every time Riley thinks he's one step ahead, it's just not the case. Mo protecting everything beautifully.
I mean, this is the Mohamed Light effect in full force. Doctor getting more damage on that left-hand tower. Evo Skelly's popping off on the right. Magic Archer comes down.
Wow. Perfect defense right there. Log taking out fully the right side.
Wow.
And Princess, oh my goodness.
On the predict. Knowing spears are going to come out, he places the Princess a few tiles away from the bridge, and that is just next level, AC.
And right there, great timing from the Doctor with Mohamed Light. Ice Spirit not going to be enough to take out the Dark Goblin just yet. Getting a little bit of value on top of the Knight, and will that third take it out? And it does. But Mo Light, I know that next card that's coming down, it's going to be a Princess.
NATO in, Miner in, barrel to the right-hand side. Princess up high, nice catch. 1286, 1287 are Riley's 2 towers.
Man, this is peak Clash Royale. 30 seconds left, Log coming down on the left, NATO on the right. 2 Princesses, Dark Goblin, 2 Dark Goblins, Doctor up. What is Riley going to do?
Look at this map domination now. Barrel on the left-hand side. Riley knows it's over. And Mo has won game number 1.
Growling at his opponent is Mo, and he deserves to do that. That was gorgeous. Bait against the greatest bait player of all time, and he showed up.
Now you wonder about the nerves for Riley. What's going through his head? Just lost to his deck.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just, I can't stress it enough. Riley played such a good game.
Mo going mortar. Mo maybe going mortar, Cannoneer. Everybody be quiet.
All right, I'll be taking over this game.
Evo Bats plus Miner plus Cannoneer. Wow, and he's going back to before Gobstein. He might be going Cannon Cart plus Skeleton King. This was actually pretty popular for a minute. Right after Gobstein got released.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. It feels like we're not really seeing Wizard all that often, and it's because of how strong the Goblinstein is. But Riley kind of going away from everything and just putting the Goblinstein in the same deck as the Wizard.
And Zappy's there, and this is such a fascinating construction of this deck, AC. You can see Riley going, what? are those zappies doing in this deck? Now you have the mortar, you have the cannoneer once the wheels fall off, you have the zappies to stun and slow this Ram Rider, and this is a lot of trouble, an uphill battle, if you will, for Riley.
Yeah, perfect timing right there. Ghost gets that one swing on top of the 0.5 HP cannon cart. There we go,
there
cannon cart. And right there, Riley gonna set up with the P.E.K.K.A, and I think that's what you gotta do. You need to set up your P.E.K.K.As in order to have a shot.
And what's going to be also very interesting about this matchup is if those Evo bats do pop off, that Rage will not be enough to take care of them. Obviously, the Goblin Sign ability will, and so will the Wizard. But the normal response to bats in the E-Spirit and that Rage will not be enough.
So Riley just kind of letting his P.E.K.K.A go to waste.
I think Mo was trying to go for the King Tower activation there. If the Mortar stayed alive and the E-Spirit jumped, just a little bit of flair, you know. He was like, did I not show you enough in game one?
Ah, you want more? Okay, I can deliver. And right there, value arrows, and right there,
wow.
Any of the zappies on top, they stop the Ram Rider dead in its tracks.
The density of the Skeleton King there, just completely blocking up the lane. I mean, it's something that we don't talk about a ton in Clash Royale, but the density of units, the thickness, if you will, that's the 2 C's thick, will stop them at the bridge or stop them as they're charging.
P.E.K.K.A trying to go to work, not going to be the case, and it almost takes out the cannon cart. Instead, it gets just starts going for the skellies, and the P.E.K.K.A's still alive somehow, but so is the cannon cart. The cannon cart's still kind of healthy.
The Zappy's resetting it. Now he goes Skeleton King opposite lane. Gonna have a bunch of souls there. Mo sitting there pumping his fist. He knows this game is on the line right now. Riley's low in elixir.
Yeah, he's going to probably activate the king.
What's he gonna do?
He has nothing.
That cannon cart is still alive opposite lane.
The bats are going to be able to come behind, and the arrows miss.
The cannon's on.
Game.
The cannon's on. Wow, Mortar's on. That is going to do it. Riley's still fighting. 813 HP remains.
Zappies are going to stop the Doctor from resetting the Mortar. The Mortar getting a second shot. Doctor doing all it can do. Miner in the back gets caught by the Ram Rider, but that's really not going to be enough. You need offense, and you just can't do that against Mohamed Light.
Mohamed Light pouring it on right now that Riley is fighting for his lives. Not even making the right defensive play. He's making the only defensive play.
Cannon cart at the bridge, followed by the bats. E-Spirit going to be able to dash on top of everything. But I mean, Mohamed Light, he's known for his spectacular defense. How do you how do you come back against him?
I don't think you can, AC. I mean, regardless of anything, he can defend his way out. Skeleton King's on top of that tower. He can still send miners in for the next 70-ish seconds. Bats are gonna get a ton of value here. And there you go. Rage in the corner. Riley knows it's over. Mohamed Light, perfect in this upper finals.
Cannon cart going to be able to take out the P.E.K.K.A. And again, these just are such incredibly strong pushes. Miner in front of Goblin Gang. That's not a push. He just finds the answers that nobody else finds.
Miner to the back. Evo P.E.K.K.A to clean. Arrows to get the Gob Gang. Riley's still alive. Evo Mortar opposite lane.
And that's going to be, that's going to be a strong defense right there. Okay, he's recovering.
He hasn't given up yet. You have to admire it as the Miner goes in to pull the P.E.K.K.A back, and that is just a beautiful play. Mo knows exactly what was going to come down that lane.
Getting a little bit of chip damage on top of the tower is the Wizard for Riley, and finally we see him start to build these big pushes. We see him jump for joy. Good game coming out from Mo. Mo takes it 2-0.
Mohamed Light will be back in our CRL 2024 Grand Finals.
This is what we want. Mo!
Look at him. Look at the celebration. Look at him go. The greatest in the world, showing everyone why he's got that title.
Yeah, it all starts right now. Game 1 of your grand final. Let's go! Mohamed Light is for the first time playing a grand final at Worlds from the upper bracket, which means Riley has to beat him twice. That is, beating him once is hard enough.
I mean, no one's been able to do it. It's only happened once this whole year where someone was able to beat Mohamed Light in an upper bracket reset, and that was the man that was just eliminated in Lucas. So, and I'm sure there's a statistician or an analyst out there, has it ever happened other than that, period? Has anyone ever done it other than that one time in our 4th monthly final this year? Well, Riley might be the second man ever.
And I'm wondering if nerves are a factor here, because clearly Allen giving Riley comfort in this moment, running this pig cycle deck, very control heavy, and this is one of those ones that a lot of coaches have talked about being a great pick when you're feeling nerves.
I mean, it's a great deck. It's so strong in the meta right now. It's been around for so long. I love this. It's just very versatile. You have other ways to win other than just your win con, right? You can spell cycle out. AQ is going to get a lot of value if your opponent doesn't have lightning, and as you said, Rich, calm those nerves back to basics.
You do have to wonder, though. We're talking about these two top-tier coaches in Allen on Riley's side and Mohamed Light back with Jebba's here, back with Julesy here in 2024.
Yeah.
And yeah, look at that contact on the right-hand side. And you have to wonder about those mind games, right? Is Mo and Julesy cooking up a prediction on their opponent, knowing, hey, you're going to be nervous here in game number 1?
Now, we've seen this Monk AQ situation before going up against Mohamed Light. Did not work out for his opponent in LCOP, but we'll see if Mo or Riley have if Mo can get a little bit more out of his Monk on Riley's AQ.
And look at the way the Monk ability shut down the Evo Skellies there, right? Gave plenty of time for the clear, didn't result in the damage maybe that Mo wanted, but now he's in a great spot to shut down this next Pix push.
I mean, I don't have, you probably have it. Is this the exact matchup that we saw between LCOP and Mohamed Light? Just switched?
Yeah, it does seem familiar. I can go ahead and look through my notes.
And as two of them set up in the back, Ice was in the back. And it is the deck, Rich.
Wow.
It's the exact same thing. So they both call each other's number and flip-flop.
The spell cycle plus the pigs have been working so far on the right-hand side. Clearing off the AQ with the reflection, and now a pretty big downhill push coming into the left-hand lane with that cannon low. Of course, the cycle is so fast, but now the dual lane pressure.
Yeah, I mean, Riley's ready to get another cannon out, but, you know, Mo's already got that second RG down. Evo RG plus that jump there from the Evo Ice Spirit just a second late, so Skelly's not able to take it out.
And that's a bit of a spend there for Riley. Now dual lane pressure and the lead for Mohamed Light in that left-hand lane.
Fireball plus guards here, going to be a nice cleanup. Just a little tickle on the tower within this EQ.
Heading into sudden death overtime, this just under 200 HP lead crosswise from the top right of your screen to the bottom left-hand side of your screen. And that Ice Whiz gave just that little extra edge here.
And a little bit of a slow pause here as both these guys trying to create a little bit of offense, but still trying to feel each other out with 90 seconds remaining here in our first game of our grand finals.
And are we going left to right? Here we go.
We are. Piggy's right into an Evo RG. Evo Ice Spirit in to stop.
Fireball, admittedly late just because of the situation, but look at this Evo RG on the right-hand side. Log trying to push back, not going to be enough. Gets one, will it get a second one? And this damage in both lanes is dramatic.
That is huge. The cannon just a second late, and now nothing on top of the Ice Wizard. Ice Wizard putting in some DPS, and Mo goes, wow, that is the last thing I ever expected you to do.
Yeah, you see the look on his face. That Ice Wiz just pushing to the outside, getting around the Royal Giant with nothing else to target. Here we go. Big push on the left-hand side. Man, that's it. GG. Well played. Mohamed Light is one win away from immortality.
And that was so clean, so dominant. Red from top to bottom. Every single time Riley was setting up a defense, Mo was already ready for a second RG.
And maybe one of the biggest differences in a moment like this from the rest of the year as we play remotely throughout the regular season is usually in this big moment, you have your friends, your coaches on chat with you, cracking jokes, keeping you calm, and that's been a big part of helping Mohamed Light overcome his nerves in the past, but now he seems totally past that. The question is, how does Riley self-soothe in this situation?
Look, I know that those are very nice, and there's the Evo Bomber, and I know that there's noise-canceling headphones there on both of our players, but you can feel the electricity in the room, and you can still hear those very loud cheers, and you know Riley's thinking about it as Momo goes Gobstein left-hand side. Riley looking like he's doing a throwback to 2021.
Wow.
And it is. It's
Wow.
Loon Freeze. That is what Mugi beat Mohamed Light with back in the day.
You know what? If you got to take a swing, swing hard.
That's right.
First minute passing away, and with that little shock, Riley will pull back within about 450 HP as Mohamed Light lavas up.
Balloon immediately opposite lane, Lumberjack in tow. Mohamed Light has that Evo God Cage up high. Gonna make short work of the Lumberjack, but it will still rage up this Balloon once it goes down. No!
No! Oh boy. And Mo's gonna get a little bit on it with that flying machine and now create a lot of pressure.
Yeah, he's got a great counter push here. Brawler goes hard on that right-hand side. Flying machine on the left.
And the Evo Electro Dragon just going for the one snowball plus the arrows to clear. Oh my word.
And Mo knows! That's it! That's it!
Oh my!
Mohamed Light is gonna be our two-time world champion and consensus greatest of all time!
I mean, there's still play to go. Camera, don't. Why are we pulling away? They're running the goal. There's still gameplay. Folks, what are you doing? We're still going. Mo's like, dude, I didn't win yet. And Riley can do nothing but laugh right now. 1 minute left. The room here is in shambles.
I mean, it's already said and done, but that's not the way you want it to go. But it's already said and done, Rich.
A little distraction here. Now look, if Riley can pull off this right now, it would be tremendous. But you can hear the murmurs and the laughs in the room. And can Riley refocus? Can Mo hold on to it?
And the freeze is in. Balloon is coming down the lane. Mohamed Light's gonna take this balloon drop. 2 balloon drops in. 2 balloon drops and death damage, Rich. Evo Bomber on the tower in the pocket, though.
This is nothing short of being potentially the wildest ending in CRL World Finals history. Tries to go for the Electro, cannot get it done. And now we can make it official. Throw up the lights, hit the sparks. Mohamed Light is now your 2-time world champion. The first ever to reach $1 million in career prize pool. And finally the questions are answered. Was he washed, they asked, in 2023? Is he not the guy, they asked, late this season? You see his coach, his mother, already. Let's go down to the floor with our champion.